Yo, what's happening, guys? Welcome back to my channel. So the last video that I did with the HTC Vive and Unity hit over 100 likes, and as promised, I was going to do a video on how to interact with objects in Unity using the HTC Vive controllers. So picking things up, throwing them, opening doors, closing doors, and walking around. So yeah, let's get right into it. So I got a basic scene set up here. We got a box. I got a few more boxes on top here. Got a door, two doors, a frame, and we got Jason Voorhees chilling behind the door that's going to attack us. No, he's really not. But yeah, anyway, so I have the Steam VR camera rig prefab in the scene already. If you don't know how to do that, go back to my last video. I explain it. Now, what I'm going to be showing you today is how to pick these blocks up and pick them up, hold them with your hand with the HTC Vive controller, throw it, and all that good stuff, as well as opening and closing these doors, and also walking around this little play area. So yeah, let's get into it. So basically, we want to go to the asset store and we want to look for the VRTK asset. Now, this is so awesome. This is already set up for you. You don't need to do any scripting. So go ahead and download it and import it into your project. And VRTK is surprisingly free. And I could just say that this is worth so much more than just free. This should be like at least $100. But it's crazy that it's free. I think he's got a Kickstarter going on right now. So if you're interested in that and want to support it, you could go right ahead. So anyway, we got our VRTK imported. I'm just going to do accept all. And you can see that VRTK is now in our assets. So the thing is, like when I did my last video, the creator of the VRTK didn't have great tutorials. They weren't that good. They didn't really explain anything in detail. And you know, during that time from when I uploaded my video till now, he has started to do tutorials. So this video tutorial is kind of redundant. He's already done it, but I promised it, so I'm going to do it anyway. So what you want to do is so you can see the VRTK here. This is the scene area. So what I'm going to do is go and create a empty object. And I'm just going to name that VRTK. And the VRTK works a little differently than it did when I used it before. This is version 3 now. So I got the VRTK set up here. And what we want to do is go to the SDK folder and then bring the VRTK SDK. No, not that one. Let me see. Hold on. SDK. VRTK SDK. VRTK SDK Manager, and put that right on the VRTK game object. Okay, so what you want to do here is, since we're using Steam VR, is for System SDK, just click Steam VR. That's what we're using. All these are going to be Steam VR. All right. What we want to do here is just click Auto Populate, and it should work. That looks good. Now what we want to do is set up the controllers, the left and right controllers. So I'm going to select the VRTK here on the left, and then right click and create an empty. Click on VRTK again and create another empty. And I'm going to rename this to left controller scripts. Now this is exactly like the tutorial that VRTK guy did. And I'm going to make this right controller scripts. And what I want to put on actually, let's go back to VRTK. So we got left controller scripts. I'm going to put the left on the left and the right on the right. All right, so now we got to put some scripts, or just one script for now, on the left and right controller. So I'm going to go to the left controller, and what you want to look for is controller events. So let's look here. Here it is, controller events. So I'm going to go back to the left and put this script on here. Just drag it on, go to the right controller, and drag the controller event on that controller. So now what this is basically, this is all adjustable. So you can change the grab button to something else. If you don't want it to be the grip press, you could change it to a touchpad touch. But these are pretty much set up to the way where you would most likely want to have your game set up as. All right, so what we're going to be setting up is we're going to make these cubes interactable. We're going to be able to pick them up and throw them. So you want to make sure that each of these cubes, or whatever you have set up, has a box collider and a rigid body attached to it. And that's very important. And if you don't know how to do that, you just go to Add Component, click Rigid Body, and then you can search for Collider. and then you could choose box collider, and it'll automatically add it, and it should form to the shape of the cube. Okay, so now the next step is to go back to the left controller script, and what we want to do is look for a script called interact grab, and it's this one here. So I'm going to go back to the left controller and import that script, interact grab, and go to the right controller and import the interact grab on there as well. And you can see that it added a bunch of other scripts as well. Now we're not done just yet. Now the controllers know what to do, but if you just go into the scene right now and try to touch these cubes or try to pick them up, nothing is going to happen because they don't have any scripts attached to it. So what we want to do is search for interactable object, and we want to put that interactable object script on each one of the cubes. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to go on cube 2, put the interactable object on there, and then cube 3. Now if we go back to cube 1 and we open up the script to see it, you want to make sure you enable is grabbable on all of them. And I'm just going to do that real quick. And now another thing you want to do is, so right now I believe you should be able to pick it up, but it might not look too realistic in terms of, you know, where you're picking it up from. So then what you want to do is go to the interactions and then grab attach mechanics and look for fixed joint grab attach and put that on cube 1, put it on cube 2 and cube 3. Now if we go back to cube 1, we see that the fixed joint grab attach script is there. So I'm going to click on this and then put it on the grab attach script right there, and then do the same for cube 2. And then the next thing you want to do is, so what that's saying is that you can pick up the object, it's gonna you know, grab it, and it's gonna be on a fixed joint, basically directly on the controller. Now basically you can't switch controllers from right controller to the left controller. So what we want to do is go to the secondary controller actions and then look for this one here, the swap controller grab action. So we're gonna go back to cube 1 and then put that script on there as well. So that's the swap controller grab action. Go back to cube 2, put that on there, and then cube 3, same thing. And then what we want to do is same thing as we did before. We're going to go and click on the swap controller grab action and put it on the secondary grab action script, and do the same for all of them. All right, so technically this should be working. So let's try it out. Get in the scene here. Get my controllers. So the way it's set up by default using the script, it uses these side buttons, the grip press. So I'm going to go to the cube, grip it, and there we go. You can pick it up, you can throw it, grab it with the other controller, and then you could also swap controllers because we added that one script to it. See if I can throw it off the cliff. Oh, nice. You can throw it because it has a box collider on it, and it'll actually bounce off. Pretty sweet. So if you don't like the default setting to use the grip press on the sides, you can change it to the trigger here, which I kind of like a little bit better, but it all depends on what you like. So you can set it up however you like. It's really easy using the script. So next thing to try is, or the next thing we're going to do is to open these doors. And then after that, I'm going to show you how to walk around. Yo, what's up, Jason? You gonna come kill me, man? I don't want to open this door for you. All right, now we're ready to get these doors set up. In case you're wondering where I got these doors from, I'll have a link down in the description. It's in the asset store in Unity, so it's free too, so you don't have to pay for it. Pretty awesome. So now we want to get these doors to open and close. So what we want to do is go to the left controller, and then you want to search for interact. I can't spell today. Interact use, and make sure we got the right one here. So yeah, interact use. So back to the left controller, put that on there, and then go to the right controller and put the interact use on there. Now the next thing you want to do is search for door. Now we have a script called openable door, and you want to put that script on both. No, what? You don't want to put it on there. You want to go to the door, and you want to put the openable script on each door. So we got one door there and the other door here, and put that. So I'm going to go back to door 1. And you want to make sure you have, what do we want to have? Is usable, because we added that usable script to the controllers. We go back to this door and make it usable. And I know for this setup, I'm going to have to set it up to flipped. So I'm going to enable flipped on here. And I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I think I remember when I was testing this out before, I had this unchecked. So I'm just going to do that now. Yep. All right, that's it. Let's get into the scene and see how it works. All right, here we go. Let's test out this door now. So this is going to use the trigger press. Here we go. We're going to get one step closer to Mr. Jason over there. So I'm going to touch here, and it opens. Touch here, and it opens. So that's why I made it flipped. If it wasn't flipped, it was going to come at me, and you kind of want it to obviously go the opposite direction. And if we touch anywhere on the door, really, the door will close. But if you wanted, you probably could set it up to just the doorknob, but I mean, this is good enough, and you could use both controllers. What you doing, man? What you doing? So yeah, next thing we're gonna do is how to walk around. So let's do that. All right, let's get walking around. So I'm gonna go to the VRTK and create an empty object and name it player scripts. Now, there's different ways of walking around in VR. I'm gonna just do one way that I've been using, and that's really just touchpad walking, which means you touch on the touchpad and you kind of push forward on it, and then you could walk ahead. And this is all you need to do. Under VRTK, add player scripts or whatever you want to name it, and then look for the touchpad walking and bring that script right onto that. Now, the speed is a little bit too fast. I like it to be set to like 1, and that's really all there is to it. Now, there's different ones that you could do in here, and if you watch his tutorial, he shows you how to use the basic teleport. So I kind of want to do something a little different, and yeah, let's jump in and see what this looks like. Okay, here we go. We're going to be walking around. So here's what I mean. Where's my controller? Come on. All right, here we go. So when you, this is the touchpad. So if you kind of put your thumb on it and go back, you'll go back, forward, you'll go forward, left, left, right, right. And depending how far out you go will determine how fast you go. So if you go just a little bit, you'll go slow. If you go more, you'll go faster. And you can use both controllers. That's how I had it set up. Now, what was I going to say? So where you, so if you use this touchpad walking, if you hold forward and you look forward, you'll go in that direction. Now, if I turn my head, it'll go in that direction. So your direction of where you're going is tracked to wherever your eyes or your head is. So yeah, well, anyway, so now we got walking. We could pick this up. We could throw it at that. The glass doesn't break. Do that, and we're gonna go open this door and say hello to Jason. We could finally walk up to him and see what he looks like. Actually, can I put my face? What? You can see his teeth. This is what it looks like to be Jason in his mask. I should make him, like I could pick him up and maybe throw, oh, what? Yo, where's he going? He just fell off the cliff. Alright guys, so that's pretty much going to wrap up this tutorial. I hope you guys found it helpful. Like I said, the VRTK channel is putting out tutorials now, so I'm not sure if I'm going to continue this. Now, I don't have an idea for another tutorial that I could do, although I do have one idea, and if you missed it, I did a 360 VR video of Bloody Mary, and I animated like the whole thing. I got this house, and I had the camera, 360 camera, animated throughout the whole scene. So if you want to learn how to maybe make a 360 video within Unity, I could do that. But again, give me 100 likes, and then I'll go ahead and do that, because I'm not sure if that's something that you guys would even be interested in. But if it is, give it a like, and I'll know that, and I'll get to that as soon as possible. But yeah, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.